My name is Richard Amster. I'm an assistant professor of culinary arts on the eastern campus of Suffolk County Community College. I moved back to Long Island to help with my parents who weren't doing so well. And at the same time I was finishing an internship in Brooklyn. And when that finished up, I started to look for work on Long Island and noticed that there is a culinary arts program at Suffolk County Community College. I have extensive teaching experience in culinary arts, baking and pastry, and applied for a position. I was hired in the fall of 2007 as an adjunct instructor in culinary arts. I spent 2 semesters as an adjunct instructor and was very fortunate in the fall of 2008 to be hired full-time as a baking and pastry instructor. Growing up, we always went to local bakeries for breads and cakes and pastries and things like that. And I was always very impressed with how people made the products. On top of that, grandparents always impressed me with how noble of a profession baking was, and how simple it was, but how elegant it was, and how important it was to a community and to a society and to our traditions. And I always felt a kinship with the ingredients and the product. Some people can't work with flour, they don't understand yeast. For some reason, it works for me, and I feel comfortable working with the products, and I really enjoy making the products. I take a dual approach to the things that are important to teach students. Of course, there's the technical side, how you make products, what are the ingredients, how they work, why they work, techniques that will produce successful products. But in addition to that, it's really important that students understand that they try to find a career that they really enjoy. Students come into school, they're 18, 19, 20 years old, they're going to be working until they're 65, maybe 70 years old. That's a long time to do something that you don't really enjoy. So I try to impress upon students, aside from the technical side of what they're learning in a baking class, to find something that they really enjoy to do, or else they're going to be working for the rest of their life instead of enjoying a career. When students come into a baking lab, of course we try to teach them the technical side of baking and pastry, what things are, how things work, how you make product. But in addition to that, my experience in industry has taught me that being a professional means coming to work on time, taking your work seriously, trying to do your best every single day, and learning more and more about what you do throughout your career. What I try to tell students and impress upon students in a lab class is that working efficiently, working smart, these are the things that will make you a success in addition to your technical knowledge about what you're doing. Students always make me proud when they succeed, and not just succeed by getting a good grade on a practical exam or a written test, but when students get a job, and it's maybe their first job, or they get a promotion, or they get a new job where they're learning something new, that makes me feel really good. When students have success in other aspects of their life, I feel a tremendous amount of pride, even if I didn't have anything to do with their achieving that goal. I remember once, and this strikes right to my heart, a student was in my class. She was in 2 of my lab classes. She came into school one day. She was very, very upset, crying, just in a bad way. I asked her what was going on. She had been diagnosed with cancer. It was a terrible thing, and she worked with this thing, knowing this thing, all semester. She never missed a day of class. She never gave up. And by the end of the semester, she had told me that she had beaten it, that her cancer went into remission. And I have to say, to this day, and that was many years ago, to this day, it's just an amazing thing. I was so proud of her for how she conducted herself in the face of such a terrible circumstance. The thing about Suffolk County Community College's culinary arts program is that it's a small school. I think the enrollment is about 350 or 400 students in total. That's broken out between the culinary arts program, the baking and pastry program, and the hotel and resort management program. And because it's such a small school, you get to know students on a one-to-one basis. Labs are 5.5 hours long, and when you spend that kind of time with a student over the course of a semester, you get to know them. I know students by first and last name when I see them in the hall. It's a very personal kind of a thing. It's not somebody in a starched white jacket with a tall hat, looking down on students. It's a friendly place, and that really adds to the learning environment at Suffolk. We have a great program. The instructors here are well versed in whatever they teach. They've got a lot of industry experience, and they bring that with them, and they mix that with just a really good teaching style. And together that makes for a great culinary arts education.